Hi everybody and welcome to a very special Ghetto vlog. We're on the way to the airport for a much needed family vacation. We're flying off to Cyprus. Yeah, the morning has already got off to a very rocky start, but we'll get into that a little bit more later on. Let's just concentrate on getting there. Noise. So, after a 4.5-hour flight, which felt like about 14.5 hours, again for reasons we'll get to later, we got to baggage claim in Cyprus. And do you ever go on holiday and have that fear that your bag's not going to come out? Well, that happened to me. You just stood there watching fewer and fewer bags go round and fewer people left waiting for bags until there's just you and there's one bag going round which isn't yours. And it's one of the things you never think is going to happen to you until it does. So yeah, at the moment, it's far from the best start.
I've arrived in Cyprus. Honestly, feel like jumping on a plane going back to the UK. It could not have gone much worse. It just keeps getting worse.
I resisted the urge to jump back on a plane, and admittedly, everything's amplified when you're running on about 2 hours of sleep. But we've made it to the resort. It looks great. Let's try and get our heads down for a few hours and, yeah, hope for better things in the morning. Happy?
Yep.
Good lad. Now, whilst this wouldn't be the end of our bad luck, at least day one started better. Little man's got his case back, so that's a big worry off our minds. And it's now time to check out our accommodation for the next week. So literally anything you asked for, they would bring you. So you know what it's like, day one of the holiday, you're just getting used to your surroundings, you're acclimatizing, getting used to where everything is within the resort, and yeah, just generally chilling out. We needed that after that journey getting here, that's for sure.
Ready?
Alright, day two, and with very full stomachs, you know how it is, right? On the first day of an all-inclusive, you eat pretty much everything for breakfast, so that'll soon change. We decided to head out a bit further afield and go and check out the local area. So, as I say, we are in Cyprus and we are staying at Protaras, really nice place. I'd highly recommend it. The weather was fantastic. Every day we were here, it was between 38 and 41 degrees. So yeah, let's go and take a look around the local town. Alright, day two has officially begun. Mini G's still not 100%, so we didn't think it was a good idea dragging him around shops in this weather. So I'm out with RG Jr.
Hi.
Representing the Gunners. Got to when you're abroad, right? Yeah, we've just gone to the local town, see what shops are about. I'm not expecting to find video games here, but who knows what we'll find, right? I'm sure you'll find a way to spend your money, won't you, mate?
Yeah.
Right, let's take a look around. There's always something interesting about looking at foreign supermarkets. Strawberry kiwi. Ooh, cherry coke. Chupa chups.
Dad, shall we eat?
What do you want? Tutti Frutti Fanta?
Yes, please.
Yeah, buddy. We then stumbled across this arcade, which looked pretty good to be fair. But like a lot of things here, things don't really open early in the morning. Things tend to open in the afternoon and evening. So yeah, we'll definitely be coming back here a bit later on in the trip. Speaking of places we'll be coming back to, Prataris is home to a stunning beach known as Fig Tree Bay, I believe. Yeah, this beach is, white sands, clear waters, everything you could want. But yeah, I think we'll be coming back here when we go out as a family for sure. Far be it from me to question the validity of these football shirts, but they look a bit ropey. Cypress shirt's okay there, mate. Do you like this one? Now, I spoke about football shirts when we went on the Amsterdam trip, and there doesn't seem to be any happy medium. I either go to places and they're selling football shirts for €100, or you come somewhere like this and everything's fake for 15, 20 euros. I always used to pride myself on buying a local football team jersey when I went away, and I can't imagine that an area-made Cyprus jersey would be expensive, but you just can't find a real one. I had the same issue when I went to Mexico as well, so yeah, just another trip where I've come home without a football shirt. Maybe my football shirt hunting days are gone at this point. I mean, I wasn't expecting Ronaldinho in here. I mean, I love Ronaldinho, but feels like we're a bit out of date here.
Yeah, this round we drew it. Like a dragon one.
Oh yeah.
And then found Bellingham.
Bellingham, yeah. Ronaldo. I love looking at the most random t-shirts in these shops as well. Who gives these the go-ahead? Pornhub. Escobar is calling. Oh dear me. Right, show me what you got.
This one and also necklace string.
If I could fit that in my suitcase, mate, I'd probably bring that home.
Daddy, can you dig it out?
Leidus. Okay, the evening is descending on what has been a fantastic day too. So me and RG Junior went out, we did a bit of shopping as you guys have seen, and then we just spent the afternoon. There's like 3 pools here, slides, so we had fun. I think the excess of all-inclusive has hit home with a 7-year-old. He's just threw up. So now we've had 2 sick kids. If there's any parents out there, I'm sure you can relate, right? It's been so difficult to get all 4 of us fit and able in one place at one time, but still only early days, day 2. But as a result of that, I'm eating on my own. I'm going for my evening meal. Obviously, Mrs. RG staying back to look after old sick boy. So, yeah, just me. Table for 1, please, sir. Good morning on what is definitely a bit more of an overcast day, which I'm not complaining about. I think it reached like 42 degrees yesterday. Today I need a bit of guidance, so I'm heading to St. Elias Church. So it's just up from the resort. It's on like a mountain or a hill. Mountain's probably over exaggerating. After 2 days of all-inclusive and no real gym, Mrs. RG, I told her, make sure there's a gym. The gym's a couple of treadmills. So it's not the gym I was after. So short of like push-ups and bodyweight squats, there's not really a lot for me to do here. And like I say, with all the all-inclusive excess, I'm ready for a bit of exercise. I'm going to walk up to this church, and once I get up there, we'll have a chat. I can just see it in the distance. Just up there, look. So that's where we're headed. So there's something very tranquil about being up here. The only person here, it's very early in the morning. I'm not sure what all these sort of ribbons and things tied to these trees are. I don't know if it's messages of good luck or if it's lost ones, I don't know. There's a lot of elderly people pictured, there's even some children, so I don't know. You know, when you come to places like this, you can feel the place, right, and what it means to people up here. And in a way, it's good. Like I say, I wanted to come up here because this trip so far, day 3, is definitely not what I'd planned for. So this is good. Puts things into perspective. The big thing for this trip wasn't about me, wasn't about Mrs. RG. We had that little honeymoon in Amsterdam that some of you guys will have watched. That was our break. This was for the kids, and that's what this trip was about. It's a long-winded way of me saying that's what this trip was for, and I have done that. We spent days in the pool, laughing, joking, doing anything he wants to do. But the reason it's been so testing, the reason I'm up in here contemplating things, is it just not gone to plan. Obviously, you know, when you travel with kids, there's going to be ups and downs. You know, things aren't always going to be smooth sailing, and you prepare yourself for that mentally before you come away. You think, right, things aren't always going to be what you want them to be, but relax, you're on holiday, chill. But the bad luck we've had is unprecedented, right? For Mini G to literally, so Mini G started throwing up profusely 2 minutes, and I mean, that's not exaggerating, I mean literally 2 minutes before the taxi man was due to take us to the airport. So, you know, the usual rush, running around, sweating, trying to get everything ready for a trip with 2 kids. He starts projectile vomiting across the living room. So then you're in a mad rush, trying to get him changed, trying to get cleaned up, trying to get the house clean. You don't want sick being left in a hot house for 7 days, right? So you're doing your best to do that. You're dripping in sweat yourself. You're in a mad rush, mad panic. And then you're thinking, what's going on? Is he going to be okay? So then we're in the taxi. He's thrown up in the taxi. Luckily, the taxi driver was brilliant. We had an Uber driver. Brilliant guy. Couldn't have done any more. He was dead accommodating. He was dead chilled about it. There wasn't any sick in his taxi, to be fair. We used nappies, so we caught it. And then it was very difficult, obviously, from there. He was sick a lot in the airport. And then you have that thinking, can we go on this trip? But obviously, you're just thinking to yourself, well, it's a bug, it'll pass. And obviously, you don't want to let RG Jr. down. He's been looking forward to this for months. It's all he's been talking about, right? As you would at 7. So then, the flight was incredibly difficult. He was sick 5 or 6 times on the flight. Luckily, we had loads of like big sort of like kitchen roll stuff that we'd acquired in the airport. But Mrs. RG was covered in sick, so she spent 4 or 5 hours on a flight covered in baby sick. But we survived it. We got through it. We got here. That night, he was sick again in the night, and then he was okay. And he had some milk that morning. He was fine. So we wake up, day 1 proper of the holiday, go to breakfast as a family. He throws the milk up everywhere. So like, all in the buffet area, all over his car, all over his mom, all over his clothes. So obviously it's another difficult situation. You feel bad for all the people around you that try and eat breakfast with their families, and you got a baby thrown up everywhere. Same as on the plane, right? Everyone's turning and looking as a baby's thrown up everywhere. So anyway, clean it up, do your best, hope he's okay. They go back to the room. I obviously just get a load of breakfast together to take over for Mrs. RG. Anyway, that was the last time he was sick, touch wood. So the great news is he stopped being sick. So you think, right, day 1, it's all the bad stuff's out of the way. Baby's feeling better. I've not even mentioned the bloody suitcase. So before we even got here, right, I told you guys the suitcase went missing. So that was stressful because it's one of the things you never think is going to happen to you, isn't it? It's one of the things you hear about, but you think it's never going to happen to me. I have that phobia every time. Every time I go on holiday and the suitcases go around, I always think, what would you do if your suitcase didn't show up? Well, RG Jr.'s suitcase didn't show up. So obviously on top of that flight and everything, I was stressing. I'd been ready to jump on a plane that there and then, lack of sleep, pissed off, had enough. Anyway, thankfully, the very next morning, we got a call from Tui, Thompson, whatever they're called. It's a bit windy up here, I hope you can hear me okay. Be better off looking at that view of my face anyway, right? So anyway, we got his suitcase back. So now, we're into day 1. Mini G's a lot better, suitcase is back. We're thinking, great, start the holiday proper. And then, again, we went back, had a great afternoon, swimming in the pool, doing all the stuff that he wanted to do. And then we're thinking, right, we'll go back to the room for a bit, get ready to go out for dinner, which is when you saw me going out on my dinner last night on my own, because he's RG Junior now starts throwing up. I don't know if it's heat stroke or if it's something he's caught off Mini G, but he's throwing up, and he's throwing up all night. And Mrs. RG's awake all night, and we're cleaning up sick all night. And yeah, so that's a long way of basically me saying the trip so far has not been what we wanted it to be. We wanted it to be family time, whereas at the moment it's all been quite disjointed. I've been having dinners on my own, taking food back. I've been doing some things with RG Junior, while Mrs. RG's been looking after Mini G, and then the other way around. But it's only the morning of day 3, right? Hoping this is the turning point. I don't want to say it out loud. But yeah, I don't even know if this will make it to the vlog, to be honest. I think I've just come up here for my own mind, my own bit of therapy, because obviously when you're with the family and the kids, you don't want them to see that you're getting annoyed or pissed off or affected by all the bad luck we've had. But for me, it's nice to come up here. It's like a symbolic act, right? To be up here on my own, reflect, talk to camera. It's like therapy for me. And yeah, just hope that now we can just make those memories that the kids need and that we wanted for them as a family, as a four. So yeah, hopefully this is it now. Hopefully RG Junior will start feeling better today, because this coming up here was something he wanted to do with me, so I'll do this again with him. And there's a few other trips that we've got planned, right? There's 4 or 5 things we've planned to do, water parks, potentially going into Ayia, Napa. A couple of other things, which I don't know if we're going to get a chance to do them all now, because we're still kind of in that don't want to stray too far thing in case one of the kids starts throwing up. But yeah, it's a new day.
Now, after going up and down all those steps, I was ready for breakfast. Fantastic selection, but like I say, this is day 3. The fry-ups are done. I was happy with a bowl of porridge. Call it luck, call it coincidence, call it spirituality, call it the therapy of just talking. But going up on that mountain, talking to camera, it was a real turning point for this trip. And yeah, I'm delighted to say we all headed out as a family later on that day. What's that? What you found? What's that? Rhino. And what's this one? Hippo. Rhino. Do you want the rhino? He wants the rhino. So for obvious reasons, we didn't want to venture too far, so we're back in the local town. But there was still one shop that I wanted to check out here, so I didn't mind coming back at all. Hey, what did you get? Good score, mate. Hey. Some quality merchandise in here. But who are these for? Like, these are kids' size. I mean, whose kids wearing these? I want this guy for the 3.0. Not for 490 euros, but could make a nice little God of War display. Look at these. I didn't put that there. I don't know who put it there. I don't think it's supposed to be there. Look at this. Come on, you. Now this I would like in the 3.0. I could put like a God of War statue on top of that. Don't think I'll get it in the suitcase, but it's cool. So we're now halfway into this trip, and finally everybody's happy and healthy, and we can go out and have a family meal. Now, I think I've already said the food here was phenomenal. I think on this evening it was a Chinese theme, and this was one of about 3 plates I had. So if you see me looking about 2 stone heavier, you know why. But yeah, like I say, very much a turning point in this day. Real nice day with the family. We had a nice evening. Myself and RG Junior spent a bit more time playing chess. I think he actually beat me than this evening, if I'm being honest. So yeah, the apprentices might be overtaking the master, that's for sure. But yeah, great way to end day 3. And tomorrow, we've got another day out planned.
All right, so me and the boy have made it to Ayia, Napa. Ayia Napa translates to wooded valley. Back in the day, this would have been like a forest. It's a far cry from that now. Obviously, it's very famous for its nightlife. Somewhere I've never visited before. I never came in my younger partying days. I was always going to Ibiza. But yeah, it's a small bus ride away. Interestingly as well, it's right-hand drive. They drive on the correct side of the road here. They've got 3-pin plug sockets. So yeah, if there's any Brits out there thinking about coming, yeah, there's quite a lot of familiarities here as to what we get at home. But if I am to find video games or anything cool on this trip, geek related, this is the place. I've had a quick look. There's a few what look like potentially game and toy shops here. So yeah, let's go check it out. You ready? Come on then, let's go. Okay, so I've been dragged into yet another souvenir shop. Now, the one thing that surprised me about all these shops so far is you expect to find unlicensed stuff. You'd expect to find a lot of Greek and ancient Greek stuff. I've seen nothing God of War. Not one thing. I thought I'd find quite a few bits and bobs. I'd love to come home with like a statue like this that was Kratos or something. There is some really cool stuff. A lot of it's very expensive. But I'd like to come home with something. You guys know my passion for Greek mythology and stuff. Where else better to come home with something than on a Greek island, right? So hopefully we'll find something nice. Hopefully we'll find something God of War related. Feels like someone needs to make a moral choice here. A lifestyle choice. If space wasn't an issue and I didn't have to get it on a suitcase, I would be tempted by that statue. Awesome. Okay, so now began a 15-20 minute walk, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in 40+ degree heat in the middle of a busy town, it was a lot. We'd had regular stops, but I was in search of a shop, which to me was the best hope of finding video games, collectibles, toys, all that stuff that you guys know I love and hunt. And then I got here and it didn't look like it was going to disappoint. Life-size Hulk, life-size Lara Croft. I think there was also a Transformer outside. This was the place for me. And then we headed inside and yeah, I've got to be honest, it was a bit underwhelming. I've encountered this a few times now when game hunting in Europe, that they just don't really have much of a video game culture. I asked the lady here, which in hindsight was a bit of a mistake because she pretty much made me question all my adult life choices. She said to me, no, we don't have video games here. We have fantastic weather, so we like to go outside and actually do stuff. So yeah, she didn't pull any punches. And with my tail firmly between my legs, we got off. It was great to come and see these statues, but like I say, it was a long walk in extreme heat. Definitely wasn't worth it. But on the way back, we did find this nice coffee shop, which had some fantastic cakes, and me and RG Jr. sat down with a little snack, and this is where things took a little bit of a strange turn. So I paused it here. You can see I'm enjoying an iced coffee. Little man's got his ice cream, but as I was walking around, you saw all that fantastic food. I thought, you know what?
I'm going to have a little nibble. I don't really like paying for food when you've got an all-inclusive holiday. I saw this chicken sandwich and it looked real good. So I said, I'll have a chicken sandwich, please, and had some rice, and I was like, looking forward to it. I sat down, I opened up the box, and there was mould on the bread, like a big green circle. Smack bang, it couldn't have been any more middle of the cob. Bread roll, wherever you're from in the country, I'm not getting into that debate. The middle of the cob, right? And obviously I took it back. Obviously I wasn't happy. Obviously I got a refund. Now, at this point, I've sat down, finished my coffee. I've tried to leave, and the owner's come over. And such is the hospitality, I've got to say, of the people of Cyprus and Greek people generally. I grew up with a lot of Greek friends, and he was not going to let me leave disappointed. He kind of forced us to stay. He said, no, I'm really sorry, let me make it up to you. And he just kept bringing us plates of food. Now, I didn't want all this food. There was more than what you see here. There was about 4 or 5 plates by the time he'd finished bringing it us. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't particularly nice. It was very greasy. And it wasn't as good as the food that we had for free back at the apartment. But it was still very kind of him. We had a little bit of a courtesy bite, shall I say. And then, yeah, we headed back off. And I've got to be honest, Ayia Napa, well, if you're going to Pretoris, which I'd highly recommend, I wouldn't necessarily say you need to go into Ayia Napa. Unless you're going out partying, going to the nightclubs, there's not really much there. It's just more of the same sort of, you know, souvenir shops. And yeah, I just don't really think it's worth going. For me, it's nice to say I've been while I was so close, but definitely won't be in a rush to go back. Right, guys, I'm back at the room with chili heatwave Doritos, Bailey's Frappuccino, pan of chocolat, and Super Meat Boy. So, I finished chapter 4 on the plane, and as you can see, I'm very close to completing chapter 5. I'm now on the final boss. I'm not sure Super Meat Boy is the best game to play when you're trying to relax on holiday. It's far from relaxing. It's just one of them very difficult but beautifully addictive games. I think there's 7 chapters. So I'm not going to make any bold statements like I'm going to get it finished on this trip or anything. But yeah, a couple more to go. And then I think there's a bonus one, but I'll assess that nearer the time. But yeah, I'm going to lock in, have my afternoon chill before we get back in that pool again, and see if I can at least beat chapter 5. So this is me finally having a successful attempt at the boss of chapter 5. It's one of them games, when you watch it be done, it looks easy. But I can assure you this game is anything but easy. However, even I wasn't prepared for what was about to come. So once you get to chapter 6, it goes from difficult to ridiculous. So that level you've just seen me complete took me many hours. You can see from all these different characters on screen now how many times I died, and I don't even think that's all of them. I think I probably just reached the limit as to how many meat boys you could have on the screen. Sadly, my Switch only records 30 seconds of gameplay at a time, so you don't see it all, but yeah, this game is just... it's a lot, man. It's a lot. So once I'd recovered from my stint on Meat Boy, we headed out for another family meal. Mini G here looking like he's going to an Oasis concert. But yeah, after dinner, we decided to go back up to the local church. This was something that I'd always wanted to do with the family. RG Jr. had been asking me if we can go up there every day, about 6 times a day since we got there. So it was nice to finally get up there with him. And I've got to say, he was a lot more sprightly than me. He got up them steps a lot quicker than I did. Now, I mentioned lightly on a previous vlog that we had recently had a bereavement within the family. So, you know, it seemed like the perfect time to write our own message and leave our own ribbon and leave a little bit of a remembrance and our own mark here on, like I say, what is a very special place. So that's what we did. We left our messages, tied them to a bush.
Wow. Who's that? Who's that? Who is it?
Who is it? And then made our way back down. It was obviously thirsty work, as you can see here from Mini G, but yeah, this is what it's all about, spending time with the family on what was another great day. So day 5 is the day I was most looking forward to, and I gotta say it didn't disappoint. This for me was my favourite day of the entire trip. So this isn't just any water park, so this is Waterworld based in Ayia, Napa, but it's a Greek mythology based water park. It was phenomenal. There's so many brilliant statues, and every conceivable slide and ride was named after a certain Greek god or goddess. RG Jr. carries the same enthusiasm for Greek mythology that I do, so yeah, we just had the best day here. Now, for obvious reasons, I didn't really film too much. It's not really the kind of place to do a lot of filming, plus it's wet, so I didn't really carry my phone around with me. But yeah, just know that this was a great day, and if you ever go to Cyprus, I would highly, highly recommend visiting Waterworld. Right, day 6, and it is family beach day. So we're back on Fig Tree Bay Beach, and as I've already said, absolutely beautiful beach. Clear waters, as you can see here, perfect weather. The only thing I would say about this beach, especially on a Saturday, because, you know, due to our disruptive start to the week, we ended up coming to the beach on Saturday. It was extremely busy. So this is approximately 9:30 in the morning, and look at that beach. People fighting over sunbeds, and I'm not that guy. I don't like being around too many people, so we didn't stay too long, but it was just nice to see the kids playing, having fun, and you gotta go and make a sandcastle when you're on holiday, right?
Oh, that's an ice cream truck.
Who's that? Who's that? Who is it? Gotta get this on camera. She's up there. Daddy kiss? Daddy kiss? Oh, moment's gone. We had a good 5 minutes together, Bubba. Yes, I'll take you to her, don't worry. So after enjoying about 5 minutes with Mini G before he remembered that his mum's firmly his favourite, we found ourselves at the local market. As I've already mentioned, it's a Saturday, so there was a market on, and that means more fake football shirts. I didn't mind buying one of these old classics, I gotta say. It was just great for me to see some of these old ones. I was trying to convince RG Jr. to buy a Maldini shirt, but sometimes you gotta remember, you got to let them buy for themselves, not for you. He doesn't even know who Maldini is, which is probably shame on me as a parent, right? So I'm going to have to sit him down on YouTube and educate him with some of these old legends here. But yeah, just one of them kind of markets, real interesting stuff. Again, nothing for me. At this point, I was desperate to buy something to bring back for the 3.0, but yeah, this is the final night, and I pretty much accepted I was going to be coming home empty-handed in terms of like toys and games and that kind of stuff, but there's going to be parcels waiting for me when I get home, that's for sure. But then we did make our way to an arcade, so I did get to scratch my video gaming itch.
Chicken birdie!
The final day. And usually when I'm away, I'm ready to come home. But I've got mixed emotions this time round because I felt like we kind of lost out on those first 2 or 3 days. I definitely would extend this trip by 2 or 3 days at this point, but I'm happy to enjoy my final day here. I can't beat going outside, doing my morning stretches and yoga and having a swim. That's definitely something I wish I could do back in England, but yeah, little chance of that. What I would say though is we've run out of Yorkshire, so in many ways this was the perfect time to be ending the trip because I wanted to get home and have a proper cup of tea. But you know what it's like, final day on holiday, guys, you just sort of make the most of your surroundings. We took advantage. We ended up paying for a later checkout because it wasn't until a very late flight, so we did have the full day here. So yeah, just time to chill, recharge the batteries and get ready for what hopefully is a less eventful journey home than the journey here. Well, that's it. Final meal on what was the final day. I'm just pleased that we managed to turn it around. Those first couple of days, I was honestly ready to jump back on the plane and go home. Felt cursed. There's a few more things happened that I didn't even mention on camera, but delighted to say we ended up having a fantastic trip. The last 5 days were brilliant. Kids are happy and healthy, and food's been great. This this hotel has been phenomenal. The staff can't do enough for you. I'd definitely come back. It's rare I go back to the same place because I like to see the world, but it's been so good here that I'll definitely come back. Probably when Mini G's a bit older because, you know, it's hard traveling anywhere with a 2-year-old and you are limited somewhat as to what you can and can't do. But yeah, fantastic trip. It dawned on me early on that I was not going to find any games. This was never going to be a game hunting trip, but that was not the priority. It was about spending time with the family, which is what I've got to do. So now we are going to get a very late transfer and a very late flight home. So I'll be getting back to good old UK about 4 in the morning. I don't even think I'm going to bother sleeping because I've got to crack on with a video that you guys will have probably already seen on Wednesday, which is my GameCube Player's Choice hunts that I've been doing before I came here. Visited 10 CXs. Anyway, you've probably already seen it, so you already know. But I'm also hoping, with me having been away for a week, that there's some nice parcels waiting for me. So hopefully on this vlog, we should see me adding some things to my collection, right? So yeah, hopefully when we get back, we'll have some parcels to open. And yeah, let's hope this flight's a bit less challenging than the flight here, shall we say. But yeah, I'll see you guys back at good old Blighty. And we are back, not only in England, but in the 3.0. I mean, I've actually been back a few days, but I think I said in the footage, I jumped straight into the Wednesday video. So we got back very late. I had about 2, maybe 3 hours sleep at the most, but jumped straight into it. I was really happy with how that video turned out, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully you've enjoyed this vlog, obviously quite a different vlog. It quickly became apparent whilst I was there, we weren't going to be doing much game hunting because there wasn't any games on the island seemingly to hunt. I did touch upon in the video that I thought I was going to be finding loads of God of War stuff and potentially Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I think upon reflection, I might be overthinking this, but maybe the Greek people, rightfully so, take a lot of pride in the stories, the mythology, and that kind of stuff's everywhere. I loved looking at all the statues and things like that. This was my only pickup, right? Nice t-shirt. Maybe they don't want the quote-unquote American video game version of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? So maybe that's why I didn't see any of it. But yeah, I think ultimately what I'm delighted with is just the fact that we turned the holiday around. Obviously a very rocky start, but I can now genuinely look back on that holiday with great memories because yeah, we had 3.5, 4 fantastic days. So yeah, really happy for the family as much as anything else that we're able to enjoy the time. But obviously, there's some parcels here waiting for me with having been away for a week. First one, got to give a shout out to my friend Dex from the Ghetto gang. After we did the Simpsons Hit and Run post-credit gameplay a couple of weeks back, I kind of mentioned on the Discord that I don't have a memory card. I used to have a GameCube memory card, don't know where it is, and asked if anybody had a white one to match the white console collection, of course. Apparently white GameCube memory cards are ridiculously hard to find and expensive. But Dex sold me this light grey one. So that's the next best thing, right? We'll take that. And what that now means is, once I finish, I say finish, fingers crossed, once I finish Meat Boy and finish Resident Evil 3, which I'm very close to doing,
We're going to start Simpsons Hit and Run. Now I've got a memory card, I'm in a perfect position to be able to do so. And as you guys will know, I saw a lot of small pieces of plastic tap whilst away. And in this box, I have a small piece of plastic, definitely not tap, fantasticness. So, it's very rare, well not very rare, but certainly less common than it used to be, that I pick up things on eBay anymore. I just don't really look as often as I used to. I tend to try and find my things in person. I just have more attachment to the items I find that way, and it's not like I'm desperate for stuff. I don't have the space anyway, right? So every now and again I'll see something on eBay that I have to have, and I had to have this. So you guys know how much I love old Mario toys, old Mario figures. Look at this guy. Look how cool he is. I'd never seen this one before. So this is a key ring, but it's so big. Effectively it's like a toy, and he does stand up on that one leg, and the way he's got his hat like detached as well, very, very cool. I've never seen this one before. This is, what year are we on? 1992. So what would this have been? Mario 2 potentially. But yeah, I love that thing. I think it's fantastic, so really, really happy with that. And I've got to give a massive shout out to Stu. So I did actually come home to some games as well. So Stu had been, I don't know where he was he in Spain or France? Somewhere in Europe, I think he's got a family there. And he reached out to me on the Discord, PlayStation Stu as we know him as, and he said, look, I've grabbed a couple of GameCube Player's Choice for you, I'm going to send them over. So it's very kind of him. Now the first one, Need for Speed Most Wanted, I already have. I've seen me do post-credit gameplay on this. I found this a couple of times, it's quite a common one in the Player's Choice series, but I'm delighted with this because if you watch Wednesday's video, you'll know that I accidentally picked up, I think it was a Harry Potter game, but it had the black box, so I can now switch it out and I can put the silver box with that game, so yeah, that's worked out really well. And then this next one is one I'm very, very happy to add because there's a few that are European exclusives, there's not many, but this is one of them. So this is a French GameCube Player's Choice exclusive, or a Le Choix de Jour. Probably butchered that, Anna. Anyway, unlucky for some, it's 13. So this one's a 2003 Ubisoft developed first-person shooter, and it's loosely based on the 1984 Belgian graphic novel of the same name. And what's always caught my eye about this one is its unique art style. It's that cel-shaded graphics. I've always had an affinity to it. I really enjoy that art style. We've seen it on Wind Waker, and we've seen it Auto Modelista, just to name a couple of games, and I love both of those games largely for the art style. But in this one, you play as a confused amnesic man who searches for his identity after being found stranded on a beach, and you wind up getting caught up in a conspiracy to overthrow the government, as you do. And yeah, it got mixed reviews and it didn't sell very well, but it's one of them games that had a real cult following, so much so that it actually got a re-release, I think in 2020, and that was also a bit polarising. Some people enjoyed it, some people didn't. But it's just one of the games I've always wanted to play. So whether I play this version or the re-release, I don't really care. I just want to test it out and just see what it's all about. So yeah, really happy to add that. And with it being an exclusive, I think it's probably a potentially difficult one ticked off the list quite early on. So thanks again, Stuart, for that, mate. Much appreciated. So that's pretty much it, guys. Like I say, let me know if you've enjoyed this one. Obviously a very different vlog, a much needed break with the family. Like I say, just to be able to go away for a week, it's been manic. The guys on the Discord will know. I've pretty much been locked in here for like 10 days before the holiday, just making content so that I could have the week away. And after the first few days, I would definitely say it was well worth it, man. Definitely recharged the batteries, and there's loads of fantastic stuff coming up on the channel that I'm working on in the background. So yeah, keep it locked if you're not already. But I'm going to get out of here because I want to jump straight into the post-credit gameplay. I'm hungry to try and get a bit further on this game. So keep it locked for post-credit gameplay. Play your games, keep it retro. Appreciate you watching. Take care.
Lock into the retro ghetto. Come and have a look around in the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples settle. Lock into the retro ghetto. Lock into the retro ghetto. Come and have a look around in the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples settle. Lock into the retro ghetto.
Right, post-credit gameplay. It was never in doubt. It always had to be Super Meat Boy. I'm determined to get this game finished. But, having said that, this chapter, chapter 6, I think this is the penultimate chapter, even though it's called The End, from what I've seen on Google. I think I said to you guys, right, the difficulty curve on this game, it starts difficult, and then it gets ridiculous. We're now at ridiculous. So this is the last stage of this chapter.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I've not even come close to doing this level. I thought I was doing okay, and then I looked online and watched someone do this on YouTube, and there's a lot more to this level than I've even come close to doing. So, let me just show you guys where we're at. That's not a good start. It's been a few days since I've played this, so bear with me while I familiarise myself with it. So, once you get to this stage, a lot of the jumps have to be absolute precision. And you have to like maximise every tiny little run up you get, right? So you see on this thing here, I'm on the edge. That's because I have to maximise the fact I can get a bit of a running jump at it. And then this jump here in particular is very difficult. See what I mean? So, I mean, I've spent, I'd say more than hundreds now, at least 1,000 attempts at this level. And I've not come anywhere close to doing it. If this game beats me, this might be the level that beats me. But I've come so far, and I'd be very proud of myself for beating it, because it's like such a difficult game, that I really don't want to give up. It's very rare I get this far into a game and don't complete it, but like I say, having seen somebody run through this level on YouTube, it made me realise that I'm not even close to being able to beat it. But let's see if we can beat that right now. But as you can see, look, I'm struggling to even make that jump. Right, we made it. Okay, finally. 5 minutes of gameplay later. Right, so now you have to be very precise here as well. Because if you press that jump button too hard there, so it's very touch sensitive. I'm just nervous just even thinking about this, to be honest. I mean, look. I mean, I'm worse than ever, I'll be honest. I was doing okay on holiday. I'm getting worse. They did warn you that once you get married, you lose touch with your meat. I mean, come on. It's one of them games that I feel like you got to relax with. You know, like you got to get in the zone and get zen with it and not overthink it and not be stressed. But it's a very stress-inducing game, especially when you're filming yourself being terrible at it. But like I said, I'm struggling this early on in this level. Now I understand, whilst I do look terrible at this game, I've beaten some very hard levels. You don't get to this point in the game if you haven't got some Meat Boy ability. This isn't level 1, I know how the game works, right? And I'm struggling this much. Right, okay. Yeah, oh my gosh! I'm genuinely sweating. Before this level, I'd have advised people to play this game, I'd have said it's fun, but I'm not sure anymore. I don't think it's fun. I'm not having fun. This level is kind of ruining the game for me, gotta say. I don't want to give up. Right, okay. Right. This is as good as it's gone for a while. Right, so what do we do here now? Fall through this gap, I assume? Can you fall through that gap? Can't go down that gap. Brilliant. So I've got to go... I'm guessing I've got to fall down here. Oh, what? That's as far as I've got. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Oh, dear me. Right, here we go, come on. Right, okay, that's it. Right, so from memory, we just need to fall down here and then... Do I have to jump over that, do you reckon?
I'm going to have to, aren't I? I'm going to have to slide here and jump there. Because I can't go down here and then jump. Because even if I end up there, what am I going to do from there? No, no! Just do nothing, Callum! Don't do anything! Point, right? I've done what? 90% of the game. You learn it. You get better at it. You think, right, okay, I know exactly how to do it now. I know how to do that jump. I know how to make this. For some reason, this jump here just feels like potluck every single time. Right, do something this time. Just keep going for it. Don't stop. Ah, where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to go there? I don't even know if what I'm trying to do is possible. How? How? This is probably a quarter of the level. And I'm just struggling so much to get anywhere. I don't feel like I'm improving, you know. Usually with a game, the incentive is the improvement and you can feel yourself getting better. I'm not getting better. No words, mate. No words. Just keep going. That's it. Right, this is it. Final one. Ah! I can't go out like that! That was supposed to be my final attempt. Right, here we go. Come on, this time. I can't go out like that, right? I need to at least have a good crack at it. It's like when I used to play FIFA, you couldn't go out on a win, couldn't go out on a loss. And you just end up playing till 3 in the morning. Look, what? Right, this is how annoyed I am. I'm going to try and play with the Joy-Cons. Because whilst I'm a fan of the Pro Controller, it's just clearly not working for me. Right, Joy-Cons, let's see if this helps. Definitely not helped. Right, I think with the week I've had, I don't think I could have picked a worse game to take as a travel companion. And I think, guys, this game's beaten me. Unless this is the run here. Right, that's it. I'm out. I'm done. Right, normally I say comment Ghetto something. In the comments, Ghetto quit or Ghetto continue. Let me know which one you think. Ghetto quit, Ghetto continue. Thanks for watching. I'm done. Peace out.